The college football experience, Buffalo Bulls 2023 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost. Yes, Edge Boost enables you to double your bet with no interest. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge to get started today. We're also brought to you by Bird Dog Shorts, the world's greatest shorts. They're hooking you up with a free Yeti style tumbler when you order over at birddogs.com/pool. That's birddogs.com/pool. Remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Buffalo Bulls 2023 season preview. You know I love the Buffalo Bulls. You know I love Buffalo football games live from the Bullpen, baby. And if you're wondering just who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
Oh, yes. Yes. I mean, I'm super excited. I am super excited to talk Buffalo Bull football, Patty C.
Yeah.
I am, because this is a team. Two-time national champion, in my opinion, Patty C. You go back, you look at those undefeated seasons they had in 1896 and 97. Mm-hmm. They were unbeatable. So, claim those things already. Everyone else is doing it. Might as well hop in at the Bullpen. I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for former JMU Duke defensive back, the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi-oh. Up.
Get that Tecmo Super Bowl music going. Look, this is the city of Buffalo. Bills Mafia, Bulls Mafia, doesn't make
That's a Tecmo team right there.
That is. We've had Don Beebe on the show before.
Hello.
You know, Don Beebe's a great guy. He's coaching these days. And look, how about that team was just, Thurman Thomas, Jim Kelly, Bruce Smith, Darryl Talley, Cornelius Bennett.
Kenneth Davis.
Yeah, and then even years later, I loved them with Flutie.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a fun team out there in Buffalo.
This is a sleeping giant right here.
You think?
Before we get into it, well, yeah, you have the NIL.
Yeah.
It's a thing now. Buffalo is a football city.
Yeah, definitely.
The Buffalo Bills have amazing fans. And I think if we get to a point where we have auto bids, if the MAC had an auto bid and Buffalo, I think the city would really get behind this football team. If not, I also believe that they don't need to necessarily be in the MAC long term. This is one that could, if they keep winning, winning changes all. Look at Boise State. They were like a community college in the 70s, dude. And look at them now. Yeah. So
I think people think of Buffalo, they think it's Canada, but really when you look at the map of Buffalo, it's in Southwest New York. It's not that far from, obviously it kind of fits geographically into MAC country. It's not that far from Penn State. It's right there on one of the Great Lakes. Just everyone else playing football on the Great Lakes gets a good deal of respect and is taken seriously as a football program. I think Buffalo might need that respect.
Yeah,
might need to be given that.
They've only had one losing season since 2017. All right, and that was year one of the Maurice Lindquist era, who's their current coach. But that was year one right after COVID. So I think that was a tough scenario he was thrown to. Last year, 7-6 to get a bowl win.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you go back and look at what they did last year, I think this team was pretty good. You know, I feel like, yeah, I mean, I guess you could make a case and say, well, you know, they barely beat Akron late in the year, but Akron was getting better as the season prolonged. You know what I mean? So I don't think that's one where you say, oh, we should panic on this one. I think this team was pretty decent last year. They lost to Holy Cross. That was a bad look. And, you know, Holy Cross should have won that game. I know they won on a Hail Mary, but they should have won prior to that happening. They lost a close game to Central Michigan. They lost an overtime game to Kent State. This team was close to like a 10-win team. They beat Georgia Southern, who beat Nebraska. Beat JMU. This is a good. I think this team's not bad. You look at that. The only blowout losses were to Maryland in the opener by 21.
Yeah,
and then Ohio got the best of them with Nathan Rourke, who was just an animal. Yeah, another 21-point loss. Everything else, they were there. I mean, if anything, you look at the close games that they played a season ago, Patty C. I mean, first off, they beat the MAC champion, the Toledo Rockets.
Toledo went 9-5, beat Liberty in the bowl game, and Buffalo got the better of Toledo. Yeah. I mean, they were right there in every other game, I feel like. So I think this team, now they do lose a lot of production, but tell me, don't you think that this could be like Buffalo's a big enough city? It's a football city. If they're given a ticket, we know we're going to a 12-team playoff. Yeah. We saw Western Michigan have some undefeated seasons a while ago, but it seems harder to do in the MAC because everyone's so similar. Yeah. However, if we ever get to another expansion of them going to auto bids, which I think could happen, this would be fantastic. And this would all of a sudden, or Buffalo can keep winning. Like I said, they've only had one losing season since 2017. If they keep winning, maybe, you know, the AAC calls them up, comes, you know, either way.
Yeah.
Win.
But what do you think? I'm a maniac for that statement?
I don't. I think, in fact, like they probably have a better thing going for them as the state flagship of New York, which is one of the most populous states in the union, as we say.
They got a 30,000 enrollment.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not a little bit bigger than that, quite frankly. But it's still a good sized school, and they should be fine. More so than, you know, there's 6 or 7 teams in Ohio that are in the MAC. They're all going to chew each other up. But from a recruiting standpoint, they should, you know, have and they have a big city, Buffalo, to recruit from.
Toronto's right there.
Yeah, I mean, they should be able to do better than they have. Recruiting wise, though, I'll say it hasn't been that impressive. Although they made a little jump. 4 years ago, 104. 3 years ago, 130. Ouch.
And Leipold was still killing it.
Yes, Leipold was still killing it. 99, and then this past cycle, 81. So that's a huge step in the right direction. Let's see if Linguist can keep that momentum going. But yeah, obviously they are right now considered the least talented team in the MAC.
Crazy.
And still doing pretty well.
And winning. Yeah. Still winning. Folks, we're going to talk all about, you know, the offense, the defense, returning production, transfer portal. And then go game by game on the schedule. But before we do all that, I want to tell you that the College Football Experience Buffalo Bulls 2023 season preview episode is brought to you by Edge Boost. Edge Boost is the world's first bet now, pay later Visa card. Yes, and Edge currently offers up to $2,500 in betting advances, which can be an extremely valuable tool. I mean, imagine what you can do with an increased bankroll. Perhaps get down on some of your favorite futures without tying up your bankroll for months. You can double down on a favorite bet you like, or even create an awesome middle or hedge, which we don't recommend because that's gross. But look, Edge Boost isn't some sleazy loan shark. And this is why gambling's so much better today than it was 20 years ago with it being legalized. You don't have to worry about your kneecaps. All right. Mm-hmm. And they're not charging any interest. Yes, I repeat, the Edge Boost is not charging any interest. 0 interest. So, I mean, that's a fantastic company right there. Edge Boost can also be a part of a responsible gambling plan, as you can set up daily, weekly, monthly limits across all of your betting accounts, all in one place. Support SGPN and grow your bankroll by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge. Once again, that's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/edge to sign up. Do it today. Must be 21 years or older to use. Problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, we are back on the College Football Experience Buffalo Bulls 2023 season preview. Can they have another winning season is the question, Patty C. In the portal, they lost tight end Trevor Borland to Western Kentucky.
You never want to lose a tight end named Borland.
I do agree there. I very much so agree there. And he was their 11 catches, 87 yards last year.
I guess that's not too big of a loss.
Well, considering they have 0 tight ends with a catch left on their roster, that's actually probably substantial.
All of their experience there.
But I would say it's not a gigantic loss. Then they lose wide receiver Jamari Gassett to Florida A&M, FAMU. They are a good FCS, but still, I don't think that's one that they're going to be sitting there saying, "How did we do this?" Even though he did have 28 catches for 347 yards, 2 touchdowns a season ago.
That's tough. 28 receptions. That's
upset. Third leading receiver on the team.
Yeah. No, I'm seeing this publication I'm looking at as them not even starting a tight end. It's got 3 receivers starting on the field. I don't know what Linguist is doing there schematically, but if they're just spreading the ball around, losing your number 3 receiver could be impactful, but yeah, it's probably a little bit of a plug and play situation there.
Yeah, and then they lose safety Keyshawn Cobb. This was the big one. West Virginia comes calling. It's one of their best guys, Keyshawn Cobb. Running back Jackson Paradis to UMass. They should be rivals. Yeah, offensive lineman Jack Hass to UNLV, and that's what they lost.
Not terrible.
I don't think it's really terrible, but incoming, they really trusted the FCS ranks. Patty C. They bring in defensive end Jair Stevens from Lafayette. Okay. I repeat, Lafayette. Joel Anderson from Bryant. What do you think about? I mean, look, I know he was at JMU, Maurice Lincoln. There's more to be named here, but
those are small school. Lafayette, Bryant. Those aren't like even FCS powerhouses. You're going to, you better be finding diamonds in the rough if you're going that low to find your talent. But
we saw it with Jared Verse at Florida State.
Yeah,
comes over from the Albany Great Danes, and we've seen it in a few other situations. They bring in cornerback DeAndre Greeley from Colorado State. Okay, getting with some Mountain West talent there. They bring in Zion Carter, a tight end from Dartmouth, Dartmouth. But no, Dartmouth is it's a decent get. They pass the ball a lot. Maybe that could be
half the schools in the Northeast are Ivy League. It feels like so. You're gonna have to get some local transfers from the Ivy League. They
bring in quarterback CJ Agbana. Now I know him because he played at Southeast Missouri. He was a decent FCS. Go back to 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Who knows? Maybe that gives you some nice depth. Safety Demetrius Harris comes in from Cornell. Tight end Jacob Orlando comes in from UMass. It's like they did a trade with UMass. You take our running back Jackson Paradis. We get tight end Jacob Orlando, perhaps. Wide receiver Daryl Harding comes over from the Duke Blue Devils. They were a 10-win team a season ago. So you get a Power 5 wideout coming in.
Gotta like that.
But that's it. I mean, what would you say they won? I feel like
they're going for a lot of guys from rich, smart schools.
Diamonds in the rough, but
Dartmouth, Duke. Who are some of the other ones?
UMass, Cornell, Bryant, Lafayette, Southeast Missouri.
Building a smart guy culture up there in Buffalo.
I would say just off of this, without us knowing how good these FCS players will be in the FBS, I would say they lost just because Cobb was a starter on the defense, and then Gassett at wide receiver, and then Borland. They were all contributing. Now, Paradis, he did not do anything last year, really. So I don't think that's much of a loss. But yeah, I mean, Cobb's the big one, I think. Cobb was a very good safety last year for them. So,
I mean, I would be lying if I said, any of those names are really registering on my radar as, I think I would have to look at the stat sheet to see what they lost. It seems like not a huge winning or losing situation there. I think their talent level probably stayed pretty similar.
Well, they got, let's break down this offense for offensive coordinator, DJ Mangas.
Guy from nearby us, next town over.
We're fans.
I
think we got to get Buffalo Bulls season tickets.
Hello.
They were 63rd in scoring offense, 75th in rush offense, 61st in pass offense, 74th in total offense. Patty C, what do you make?
Average.
Yeah.
Average across the board. I mean, like you said, rushing offense 75, passing offense 61, rushing defense 88, passing defense 71. This is a team that is very mediocre on all levels on a national scale, but that doesn't mean they're bad. They're just, what they are.
I expect the rush offense to be better, and maybe even the pass offense too, because Cole Snyder's back at quarterback. This guy was a Rutgers transfer. He started games at Rutgers. This was not like he did not start. He had 18 touchdowns, just 8 interceptions a season ago. Threw for over 3,000 yards, Patty C.
Those are good stats.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To have that coming back, and then running back Ron Cook, who was not your leading rusher, but he was only 25 yards away from being your leading rusher. He was your highest rushing yards per average there. Ron Cook's back at running back, 600 yards, 4 touchdowns a season ago. I would assume he is going to start, but Mike Washington was their leading rusher, and he's back too. He had 7 touchdowns a season ago. So both their top dogs at running back are back. And then here's what you got to love.
A lot of production coming back.
Here's what you got to love is the O line, because they bring back 3 of 5, including all MAC left guard Gabe Wallace, left tackle Isaiah Wright, and right guard Tyler Doty. Wallace is the big one that was all MAC, but really their offense has got to be better. And then when you add in the fact that, okay, yes, you're breaking in some inexperienced wide receivers with Nik McMillian, Cole Harrity, and Marlyn Johnson. Maybe Harding, the transfer from Duke, gets in the mix. I'm not sure, but you look at Harrity had 13 receptions, 1 touchdown, 170 yards a season ago. That's not lighting the world on fire, but they have a couple other guys. Maybe it's plug and play. I think that's the biggest question mark on the offense is the wide receiver. I
agree. Someone's got to step up and, stretch the field, be a playmaker at the wideout position. But other than that, all
run game should be better.
Run game and passing, and your quarterback play should be solid. I think, and especially the line, and that's supposedly on both sides of the ball, right? That's going to be the strength of their team.
Yeah, I mean, defensive coordinator Robert Wright on the defensive side of the ball last season, 65th in scoring defense, 88th in rush defense, 71st in pass defense, 78th in total defense. Patty C, and they get 2 of 4 back on the D line, but it's both the defensive tackles, which I think is kind of what you want. Yeah. They got 1 of 3 back in the linebacking core. In Sean Dolak. Dolak is one of their best defensive players. So you get him back, but you got some inexperience there, but you bring in a slew of transfers. 2 of 4 back in the secondary, led by corner Caleb Offer and safety Marcus Fuqua. Kicker and punter are back. Patty C, what do you make of it? What do you think? I mean, the defense has got to be a little bit, I think the defense will probably be a little bit improved.
I guess bringing back there's said a lot of experience on the defensive line coming back. Some studs, 1 stud at the linebacking level and 1 stud at the defensive back level. But other than that, relative inexperience in the back half of the defense. I would imagine similar production, but maybe a slight improvement. The fact that they are an all MAC kicker coming back. 24 of 28 field goals.
Alex McNulty.
Gotta have that. I mean, that's going to be huge in close games.
Which they played a lot of them last year.
I mean, I think with all that, factoring in, I think they'll be winning a few more comfortably. And then when they're in those close games, they got a guy that's a difference maker at the kicker and punter positions. So I think I expect big things for them this year.
Let's go. Well, look, before we're going to go game by game on the schedule. And hopefully you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. We break down all 133 college football teams each and every year with a solo podcast for each and every team. And we talk college football year round. Subscribe, tell a friend, wherever you get podcasts, we're there. But look, we're going to go game by game, but give us a second here. Before we do that, we want to tell you that the Buffalo Bulls season preview on the college football experience is brought to you by Bird Dogs. Bird Dogs make you look good. All right. Bird Dogs, they're stretch khaki shorts and they're designed to fit slimmer through the thigh and the leg, giving you a truly sculpted look. You're going to look like Pete Metzelaars in 89. All right. Just every girl there in Buffalo throwing themselves at Pete Metzelaars. Look, Bird Dog shorts do the exact same thing as any other shorts, but they fit way better. All right. They're not made of stiff, restricting cotton. Bird Dogs fixed this issue by inventing cloud knit fabric that looks just like khakis, but it stretches so you get a way slimmer fit without having to sacrifice the old movement. Bird Dogs uses anti-stink sweat. Yes, you're not gonna smell like Jeff Wright, after a Super Bowl performance. All right, you're gonna be fine. All right, it keeps fabric, it keeps you cool. Keeps you dry all day long. I mean, anti-stink sweat wicking fabric, Patty. See, this is incredible. Go to birddogs.com/pool to enter. Use the promo code pool for a free Yeti style tumbler with your order. Once again, that's birddogs.com/pool for a free Yeti style tumbler. You won't want to miss, you won't want to take your Bird Dogs off. Essentially. Yes, let's go. Check out Bird Dogs. All right, Patty. See, we are back. I know you agreed with my Metzelars thing.
I'm looking at a picture of Metzelars right now. Are we sure that that's what you want to look like?
Yes.
The mullet.
I gotta remember the times, man.
The mullet
that worked back then. Swayze and Roadhouse.
He has the Jim Carrey hair on the front and and the mullet on the back.
Don't you dare talk bad about Pete Metzelars. Patty C, shout out to our graphics guy, Cam Curran. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see these fine graphics with the Buffalo Bulls here. The win total is at 6.5, Patty C. So Vegas is basically saying, we think this Buffalo program is going to continue to bowl.
Hello. They're bullish.
They're bullish on the Bulls, buddy. Okay, let's hop into the mix because I actually think you look at last year's schedule. The non-con was Maryland, who was a bowl team. Holy Cross, who was a really, really good FCS team.
Yeah.
Coastal Carolina, who was a bowl team. And then UMass, which they won by 27.
Yeah. Struggled in the non-con, and
I think this is an easier non-con.
Questionable. I think it's similar.
It is similar, but I think a little easier.
Right
Here's
off the bat.
Week 1, Saturday, September 2nd at the Wisconsin Badgers in Madison, Wisconsin. Now, obviously toxic environment. The crowd's going to be going crazy. Jump around's going to be playing,
Great place to catch them though.
That's what I was about to say. If you told me anytime, this is day 1 of them running the new Dairy Raid, Air Raid offense.
A concept so foreign in Wisconsin.
Yes. Trust me. I'm pretty sure planet Earth is doomed because of this transition from Wisconsin doing this to running the Air Raid, the Dairy Raid, they call it.
To the Dairy Raid.
Patty C, we're going to take Wisconsin, but I think this is the best time to get them.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Phil Longo, and then even Luke Fickell installing new stuff on defense. Both sides of the ball are going to be working out kinks. And Buffalo has the opportunity with all that
veteran quarterback.
Yeah. They're going to have a shot at it if they play well.
I mean, 0-1, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe Buffalo's the team of destiny. Week 1, App State style when they beat Michigan. Week 2, Fordham comes to town. Now, Fordham was a very good FCS team a year ago, but their star quarterback Tim DeMorat's gone. Fordham almost knocked off Ohio a year ago, who played for the MAC championship. I think this is a win for Buffalo. I think they bounce back. I think this Fordham team is not going to be nearly as good as a year ago. A series you would have thought would have been played more often with them both in New York. 2-1 all time in Buffalo's favor. Make it 3-1. Hello. So I got this, dude, and this is what I love about the schedule here. I get it. Like Liberty now comes to Buffalo. Liberty is got a brand new coach. They're installing a much different offense. Jamie Chadwell going to that option read stuff. This is a big difference. What did you say? Hugh Freeze is. Oh, he's like air it out down the field. Yeah. It's a little vertical passing approach. I think it's a pretty big overhaul there too. Now, obviously Liberty's talented. They spend money like a Power 5. You get them at UB Stadium at the Bullpen. I love the fact they get Fickell week 1 and Chadwell week 3, because if you got them in November, you would get destroyed probably. I will say Chadwell's approach too. It's like, you can't just line up and smash it down and throw it out of the pistol. And it's not
that simple that it's just read option. I mean, he's doing like what makes Chadwell a good coach is that his offense is so complex and it mixes in so many different elements of various offenses
and timing.
It requires precision, but when he puts it all together, it becomes very difficult to stop. But early on in the season, it might not.
I got Buffalo winning this. I think this is a 50-50 game.
I think Liberty's a lot more talented than Buffalo. A lot more talented.
Hear me out. Buffalo beat Georgia Southern last year, buddy.
That's true. That's a pretty big statement on Buffalo's talent. You know what? I'll take a flyer and I'll ride with you on that one.
2-1, baby. And now they head down to Lafayette, Louisiana, take on the Raging Cajuns. Now this is a kind of a mystery one to me. Mike Desimero comes in year one, struggles at Louisiana.
Again, so what had been under Napier, like a consistent 10, 11, 12 win team for several years in a row.
I got to favor Louisiana though.
Yeah.
They're more talented. That's a big time road trip. I got them 2-2
between Liberty and Louisiana. I doubt they get them both. So 2-2,
2-2. And then they head to the Akron Zips. You know, I'm high on Joe Moorhead. They should have lost to Akron last year. Akron was running out the clock and fumbled the ball.
1 point victory over Akron
on a field goal. Like this game was wild. They should have lost that game. I got Akron winning this thing.
Revenge spot. Yeah. I'm a little higher on Buffalo than you are in this situation. I'm gonna go Bulls.
So you got them 3-2. I got them at 2-3. Then fire up Chips, the Central Michigan Chippewas, and Jim McElwain come to UB Stadium. Remember they lost to CMU a year ago.
Yeah, 27-31. On the road though, getting them at home may be the advantage that they need.
Nope, I got them losing.
I'm higher on Buffalo than you are once again.
I got them at 2-4. Then the Bowling Green Falcons come, and this is homecoming for those Buffalo Bull fans at the Bullpen. I do have them beating Bowling Green.
Oh, so do I.
So 3-4. Then they are at Kent State at Dick Stadium. Look, this is one Kent State's lost everybody. This is a for sure win for Buffalo. I got Buffalo winning this. I got them moving to 4-4.
I believe this is one of their best rivalries in the MAC. 14-14 all time. I think it's the geographically closest team on in the MAC to them. A little bit of a rivalry here. No, you said
I got to win this. Kent State, the cupboard's empty. Everyone's gone. Colin Schlee, Sean Lewis, everybody dipped out on this team.
Well, I'll say this: I just had them winning 3 straight MAC games. I think the MAC is so close that you're going to take a loss once every 4 games. It's
going to be by far the worst team in the MAC.
I don't know which one of those games it's going to be, but I doubt they get 4 in a row there.
So I got them at 4-4. What do you have them at 5-3?
I think I got them at 5-3.
All right, they get a bye week. Then they head. This is Maction Tuesday night. We all love it. They should do that for October too, by the way. They head to the Glass Bowl. They beat Toledo a year ago at UB Stadium, but this is now at Toledo. I think it's a revenge spot. I got Toledo beating them.
Yeah, they won by a touchdown last year. I got Toledo beating them too.
So I got them at 4-5. The following Tuesday, Curtis Rourke, and these are the breaks, comes into UB Stadium. Give me an upset. Give me an upset.
You're having Buffalo in this?
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm having Ohio in this. Ohio smacked them 45-24, 3 touchdowns last year. Granted, this is in Buffalo, so a little better of an environment. It's going to be cold November 7th, but I don't think that's going to bother Ohio too much. Either way, we both have them at 6 and
I got them at 5-5.
Or 5-5 at this point in the season, right?
Then they go to Jagerbaum Stadium in Oxford, Ohio, to take on the Miami, Ohio Redhawks. I will take Miami, Ohio to get this one.
Not me. Give me.
Actually,
Buffalo.
All right, yeah, I'll go Buffalo. I think it's a 50-50 game.
Miami went bowling 6-7 last year. They're all the same team. Miami took a loss.
I'll join you.
24-20 last year in Buffalo, so maybe a revenge spot for the good folks in Miami.
I'll join you. I'm going to say Buffalo gets
in
one.
Oxford, I should
but
say.
They're not winning this next one. They're going 1-1 in the stretch. They're not going 2-0 in the stretch. Eastern Michigan comes to UB Stadium. It's probably going to be cold as shit on November 21st, right before your turducken. My point is they go 1-1. I got them going 6-6. I am on the under on the Buffalo Bulls, Patty C.
Well, guess what? We're disagreeing for the second podcast in a row because I had them beating Eastern Michigan 7-5, hitting that over, and things are moving in the right direction.
Vegas is spot on though.
From a race linguist.
The Vegas is number 6.5. I'm on 6. You're on 7.
Yeah.
Vegas they spot on here.
It's the MAC. It's not that hard to predict. Just to say everyone's 6-6, and you're pretty much on point.
Watch them beat Wisconsin week 1, and then the overs cashing. You know what I mean? All I gotta do is pull one upset. If they beat Louisiana in Cajun Field, I think they're gonna cash it.
Yeah, I mean those are the two most challenging. I mean, obviously, if they get Liberty, I mean, I think Wisconsin's probably an impossible ask, but Liberty at home and a down Louisiana Raging Cajuns, they could win both of those. That they would definitely be cashing the over if they did that. This team was 6-1 3 years ago under Leipold.
Yeah,
he left them in good shape. Obviously, year 1 for Linguist was tough. You know, didn't he get a late jump on that?
Leipold took the job in like May, I feel like.
Yeah, so he had no time, and he had COVID to deal with. 4-8, which is, I guess, kind of respectable. 7-6 year 2. He's going to move him back to that level of the trajectory of an excellent program.
I still think they're bowling, and they still could go 7-6 if they win the Chimichanga Bowl. I will. I'm on the under. Patty C's on the over. Look, before we get out of here, we got Michael Barker here, aka College Football Campus Tour. You might know him as that on Twitter, and I just did. I was able to record a quick little interview with him. So him talking about the Buffalo Bulls, the bullpen, and UB Stadium. Here we go. Joining us on the College Football Experience Buffalo Bulls 2023 season preview episode is the great Michael Barker, aka College Football Campus Tour, folks. Yes, give him a follow on Twitter at CFB Campus Tour. Hopefully you're watching this on YouTube, youtube.com/the College Experience. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing great. Happy to talk about UB Stadium.
Yes, UB Stadium, the bullpen, they call it. Buffalo, New York, or somewhere right around in Amherst, New York, I guess. But tell me about your experiences to good old UB Stadium and the bullpen.
So it was built in 1993 for the World University Games, which was a track event. And they built 29,000 seats, and it replaced the old UB Stadium, which held just 4,000 seats. And in 2006, they had their biggest crowd ever sell out, and they beat Temple in overtime in front of the biggest crowd they've ever had at UB Stadium. And as far as my experience there, you know, they always play Tuesday or Wednesday from action, but I went there in 2018 on a Saturday. It was a noon game, and I doubled it up with Penn State for the wideout. They played at 7:30. But September in Buffalo, Saturday morning, the weather was beautiful. People were out tailgating early, a lot of cornhole going on. And they played Army very tough for about a half. And, you know, anybody that can withstand that triple option, you got to give a lot of respect. But I had fun. You can walk around the stadium all over the place. And 29,000 is one of the biggest stadiums in the MAC as well.
They're a sleeping giant in the MAC. I'm just telling you folks right there, give the MAC an auto bid and see what can happen with Buffalo. We've seen it with the Bills and Bills Mafia, Bulls Mafia. It's just a football town. As Patty C says, Buffalo football town. What's going on? I got to get out to UB Stadium, and it sounds like a great experience. And like Michael just said, he pulled a doubleheader. He went to Penn State and Buffalo the same day. That is a perfect example of why you should follow Michael Barker on Twitter at CFB Campus Tour. He does. There's been certain weeks he goes to 6-7 games in a week. He posts the photo of the day. Anyone that loves college football has got to follow Michael because it's an essential follow. It's educational. It's also I live my life through him. I'm like, wait, he's in Honolulu one day at a football game. The very next day, he's in Waco at a football game. It's just fantastic. And yeah, Michael, keep doing a great job because I'm telling you, man, you do wonderful work, man.
Thank you. And that's the point of my account is to showcase college football and you get opportunities to go all over the country. I call it the vessel. It takes me all over, and it wouldn't be the same if I couldn't share the experiences on Twitter and you know, be here as a guest with you. So places like Buffalo, you may not put it as your number one destination in college, but it's a great town, and they have a game November 7th that is a MACtion game, and it will be my first time going back since 2018. So I'm looking forward to it. And as always, thank you for having me.
There you go, folks. And look, if you're at that game on November 7th, feel free to hit up Michael on Twitter at CFB Campus Tour. Let him know where you'll be. Maybe you can meet up pregame, grab a beer, something like that, folks. But come on, Bulls Mafia. Look, if you're out there in New York or Canada, isn't Toronto right across? Look, we got a lot of Canadian fans. What are you doing? Go catch a college football game. Action never fails, baby. So subscribe, or I should say follow Michael Barker on Twitter at CFB Campus Tour. And looking forward to catching a game at UB Stadium. Maybe I'll join you, man. Thanks for coming on, man. Michael Barker. Dude, UB Stadium, the bullpen, Patty said. We got to get to a game.
Gotta love it.
Gotta get to a game. Tuesday, Wednesday night in action. What's not to like, buddy?
November 2 in Buffalo.
Yeah,
I want that.
That's
vibe.
football weather, buddy.
Yep.
Get these fucking domes out. I'm so glad the Bills didn't do a dome, but I still don't even like that they have the covered things for the fans. I feel like give it.
And we talked about this. Yeah. Syracuse is shooting themselves in the foot by playing in that dome. New York, take advantage of the weather advantage that you have.
Yes, that is your advantage. And look, I did a deep dive on this. You look at Syracuse; they were way more successful as a program before they put the dome up. Since they've done the dome, they've become a worse football team. Yeah. And I did it for the NFL too. I did the Detroit Lions, terrible since they moved to the dome. The every single team really. Yeah. I think the only one that got better was the Saints, and that was I only had like a 10-year back in the day. They didn't have free agency. Yeah. So the Saints only had 10 years without the dome. Then they got the dome. And regardless of that, the Saints didn't stand to have a huge home field advantage because they're down in New Orleans, where it's like, I mean, it's humid out. But that's not snow. If you're used to playing in the snow, come playoff time, that's your advantage. Yeah. Make them come up there and beat you. They won't be able to. Yeah. They won't be able to. I'm on the under, though. Patty C's on the over. He's buying in. I still think Buffalo's bowling. All right. So we'll see you at bowl season, baby. Let's go. Subscribe to the College Football Experience, folks. Remember, we're on YouTube, youtube.com/the College Experience. And you get all three of our podcasts on YouTube. We host the College Basketball Experience. We're here every single night of the college basketball season and the College Baseball Experience. So check them all out. Remember to check out the Sports Gambling Podcast because they kick ass as well. And Buffalo Bill fans, you're going to want to check that one out. And get the SGPN app. Come talk college football with us. Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. We're talking those crazy, wacky Maction games nonstop. So come on, hop on over there and give Patty C a follow on Twitter at PattyC831. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Let's fucking go. Folks, this is the College Football Experience, Buffalo Bowl style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.